How Connecticut handles fault versus no fault divorce. This is a common misconception by clients about fault and no fault. No fault divorce is a concept that evolved over the last several decades, where before, when there was fault divorce, you'd have to prove fault in order to get divorced. So if you thought your husband was cheating and you brought an action against him for divorce to prove adultery, if you couldn't prove adultery, you were stuck in the marriage. If you couldn't prove that they were intolerably cruel to you or they were abusive, if you couldn't prove that by a fair preponderance of the evidence, you couldn't get divorced. You were stuck in the divorce. All no fault says is that if you show that the marriage is broken down irretrievably with no prospect of reconciliation, you are getting divorced. So you could still bring up the fault issues, and the court can consider those fault issues in how it structures the whole settlement arrangement, but certainly not going to stop you from getting divorced. Fault still matters. It doesn't matter as much as people think it does, but the no fault and fault has nothing to do with whether the court can look at fault. It has to do with your ability to get divorced and having to prove fault to get divorced. And you don't have to prove that anymore, fortunately.